Well, hi there. This is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and here I am, sitting in my easy chair. Because I've been sick and I had sinus infection and extremely low count on my thyroid, and it's kind of zapped me. So I thought, okay, what can I do? I just don't have the energy to quilt or work on a quilt. So I thought, well, I can just sit here and show you ideas on maybe how to start a doll quilt. And this is for real new beginners. How to do a baby quilt and do the quilting. And even you gals that you want to quilt, but you don't have the physical strength to twist and pull and do that quilt under that machine. That takes a lot of work. And as we get older, we can't do that anymore a lot of times. And I can't right now. So, we got to come up with other things. We shouldn't let our disabilities limit us in what we can do, but we have to be realistic. So, I was thinking, well, let's just start with, I did the wool applique, the cornucopia. I've been working on that. And it's something I'm preparing for when I can't quilt, is doing handwork, learning again how to do handwork. So I was thinking of the buttonhole stitch or a blanket stitch, and then I got to thinking, well, what a pretty way to quilt. Maybe even quilt a quilt. But let's talk about quilting a baby quilt or a doll quilt. Have you ever made your granddaughter a doll quilt? It is the most rewarding thing in the world to do. She will absolutely love that doll quilt. Takes very little fabric, maybe 5 or 6 charm packs, a charm pack, and 5 or 6 blocks across and maybe 5 or 6 down. Make it whatever size, try to figure out kind of by her doll what size to make it. But you get a charm pack and you put those squares together. Well, there's your little quilt already. But why don't we put a little heart together? You can find you a heart template in lots of quilting magazines, old magazines you've got. I bet you can find one. You can find them on the internet. You can... where else could you find them? Well, we've all got books. Quilting books and quilting magazines. It's got a heart shape in it. Just put you a piece of heat and bond or some kind of stabilizer or whatever that you iron on. Now, I don't have mine ironed on. I just have a piece of batting on there. And I like the little puffiness of it. So you could put your heat and bond on the batting, I think, that, and just press that on there, okay? And I just put that on there just so we know we've got a sandwich. All right, we have our, let's just say our 6-inch block or 5-inch block, whatever you come up with. A buttonhole or blanket stitch is so fast. You can whip this thing out in a New York minute. And then put your batting on, you know, the whole, after you've made all of your squares, put your batting, put your backing, and stitch in the ditch just around the perimeter of the block. You don't have to stitch in here or nothing for a baby quilt. But if you quilt as you go, you can try just sewing these together. Sewing your blocks together with the batting already in there and putting them together. You know, honestly, and then trim that batting. Like, see, you've got your, trim this to 1/4 of an inch so that your seam is not including the batting, okay? Then put your 2 pieces together and then press the seam open. And you can do quilt as you go on that thing so fast, and it's done. You don't have to do anything else on it. It's done, and you can be as extensive as you want. After you've got this button with your buttonhole stitch, you could do some diagonal straight lines if you want to. I mean, you go to as much trouble as you want to, but you can also make it as simple as you want to. But when you do a kind of like the idea of quilting go, just trim this batting, take a 1/4 inch off, sew your seam, and press it open. And see, there's no bulk there. And you've got it made. Next time you do a baby quilt, try that. But I want you to make a doll quilt. Everybody can make a doll quilt. If you've never made a quilt in your life, do this. You know somebody that's got a little precious thing that would love to have a doll quilt for her baby. Okay? All right. Let's get to the buttonhole stitch. Now, this thing right here is worth its weight in gold. This, you just make a loop in your thread. Oh, and my thread is a number 12 because I really want it to stand out. So it's a number 12. And I made a loop and I put it in this little loop right there. See, there's a little loop. Okay, then you put your needle, and I have to get it where I can see it. Sorry, and then I'll show you. You put your needle across that piece of wire there. See? See how that is? Well, I thought I had it on there. I've even got my glasses and it's hard to see. Okay, I don't have my thread right. Now, I've already got my buttonholes stitch started. See how cute? And I don't mind if all of these little frayed edges, that doesn't bother me a bit. But I want to show you how fast this is. You just either draw you a 1/4 inch line all the way around or visualize your 1/4 inch around, okay? And space them evenly. There's where I'm gonna start, right there, okay? Keep your thread back here to the left, back behind where you're going to bring your needle up just ever so slightly to the top with your needle this way, and pull that thread up. There's your stitch. Keep this pulled back to the left. Go in a 1/4 inch away, up to the top. Keep your thread pulled back, out of the way. Pull it up. It is so fast, y'all. I mean, really, you can have this thing whipped out in no time. Absolutely no time. And to make the little doll quilt, I bet you could make one in an hour. I'm not exaggerating. Not doing all of the stitching, but make the blocks and cut out your hearts, and then do your stitching. Yeah, you might make the whole darn thing in an hour. But it's so cute. Now this is at my intersection where see that intersection? It's where I call the intersection. And I'm gonna make one on one side of it and one on the other side of it. Now I'm going to go right over, keeping this always to the left, and I'm going to go over to the other side of the intersection and make this one. See how one goes one way and one kind of goes the other way? And then just start again. Just go over, I don't know, a 1/4 inch. And make it a 1/4 inch long. See how cute? And you make all of your squares, you stitch on your stitching, you're done. Do your quilt as you go by trimming this a 1/4 inch. When you connect all of your blocks, there's no more quilting to be done. And you've got you a darling little baby quilt. Now, this moves around, as you can tell, as you can see, it's kind of moving around. But I was going to even this up anyway, so that part doesn't matter. But you might want to put a pin right there so it stabilizes it and it doesn't move around on you. That's how you can make you a good little baby doll quilt and do your stitching. And you've learned the buttonholes. You can do this on any quilt. You can quilt this way and get any quilt done in just no time at all. No time at all. Very, very fast. Very, very, very fast. I like the primitive look of it. I don't mind the jagged edges. I like the way it looks. So I'll just keep right on stitching. Start at the bottom, 1/4 inch away, go up to the top, keep your thread to the left. Precious, precious. So we do what we have to do, don't we? You know, when the day comes, if I don't recover my strength, which I will, I'm on medication that surely will correct my problem. But if I don't, I will find other means to be creative. I will do what I have to do. You know, my mother always said, Lord, don't ever take away the use of my hands or my eyes. And that's kind of been always my prayer too. I want to keep going and I want to create. And I know, oh my gosh, people can create the most beautiful quilts, but that's not in the cards for me much anymore, I don't think. So I just have to do what I can do. And if I sat here and visited with you a little more, I would have the whole thing done. And what more satisfying than to make this little doll quilt for a precious child. Alrighty, I'll call it quits, but I just wanted you to know that after you're old and after you're gray and after your body gives out, you can still do something. You can still make something. You really can for that precious little child or grandchild, or if you don't have a child to give it to, make one and take it to a shelter where abused women are, for some little girl's doll. She will love it, love it, love it. But I was hoping I could get this done to show you how quickly it is, but I don't want to keep any more of your time. But that's how you do a blanket stitch. And or buttonhole stitch. It's got both names. I've seen it both ways. Alrighty, you take care, and remember, there's always something that you can still do. There's always something you can still do. Okay? Alrighty. Blessings to you all. Take care.